Can I just say how amazing this episode was? Because it was a bit different than, say, last episode where we definitely felt on Stain the Fraud, or regards to any other character development, such as when Knuckleduster had his biggest yet toughest fight. That made him once again want to be excited for being a vigilante and taking down villains and stuff. No, this episode took a more philosophical approach. And by that I mean, it basically went over the whole lines of what it means to be a hero per se. Why is it drawing a line on the hero license stuff, declaring you to be a real hero, while vigilantism can be a villain, when vigilantes such as the Crawler, Pop said technically, and Knuckleduster are stopping villains. They're mainly fighting against villains. And I do have some idea of how to approach something like that, but it won't be for this video because that will hijack the video of being the episode review. Because this one is Kohichi Gets a Date. And unironically so, it is related to his Kohichi life, not the Crawler life. Since we've seen a lot more of that, now we get to backtrack to the personal life, which is the university or college student doing his homework, trying to prepare for a test. An upper classmate basically comes in, and she is a hottie to begin with, but it definitely kind of shows that, he still has a bad reputation, unfortunately. But this classmate gives him a chance and helps. So Kohichi invites this female to his place, which is a big win, by the way. Pop is obviously there. She's, doing her own thing. Realizes that Koichi's bringing someone, freaks out, and then obviously Koichi's cleaning up. She didn't make herself clear that she was there because she's hiding. And you could see that Pop this is like one of the episodes where she's just jealous. And I don't know how else to put it. Like, every time it's related to the other girl, like Koichi, no, not Koichi. Well, Koichi is obviously infatuated with her, but the more focused is on Pop being extremely jealous. Like, you can tell that she's getting somewhat hostile, somewhat dissing. Like, anytime Koichi compliments Makoto, which is the name of the upper classmate, and she definitely is just showing her tsundere side. It is so hilarious. I literally couldn't stop laughing for most of this episode because Makoto is definitely fucking beautiful. Like, it is revealed that she is doing like some interesting background stuff, which I'll get to. And her brother is essentially the detective that's gonna go after the vigilantes. But the biggest thing about her, outside of just having a great chemistry with Koichi and being literally the first person outside of Knuckleduster and Popstep that has been to his place, is that she is investigating the stuff related to vigilantes. Now, she brings up a bunch of interesting history, how all of this resonated in the USA, which, go USA, and just how the whole hero licensing stuff started over there and kind of bombarded its way to other countries in the My Hero universe. Now, obviously, there's also the whole fine line of figuring out, well, what does people think of these vigilantes? Because they bring back the whole hero ranking stuff, which is obviously, it's not about who's the strongest or who's done the most deed, is who's the most popular. And obviously at that time, it's All Might. Like, All Might is not only the truest of heroes, but he is obviously the most popular with people. The one that most people feel the safest with Endeavor being second, for different reasons. But that's a different video as well, because the whole thing of being a hero, at least in the My Hero universe, is sort of skewed as a popularity contest, which is obviously a bad thing in many regards, but that's a side note. The main thing is she wants to investigate how do people think of the three vigilantes, which, to no one's surprise, the Crawler is the most creepiest according to most people. Although they do intend to say, oh, he's good, it's just creepy, which obviously pisses the fuck out of Koichi. Even the two dudes, like the two middle schoolers, they know who Koichi is, and they're obviously messing with them. The point is that Koichi's mad about how, well, they're messing his name up and that he is defined as creepy. with Pop Step, I mean, yeah, she's popular and all, but it's mostly about her butt, which I don't even know how to comment on that. And then Knuckleduster, obviously mysterious and dangerous, and they don't feel safe around him because, I mean, the dude just beats the shit out of everyone. So essentially not necessarily 1 out of 3 sort of good, even though Pop Step's technically not a vigilante according to her. So in reality, not exactly good. But I do find it odd that this villain of this episode, if we want to even call it that, steals the laptop with all of that information because he's just being a thief. And the quirk he has is soccer. Even President Mike is dumbfounded because is that really a quirk? At this point, it's a joke. Because there is no way there's an actual quirk soccer. What is there? A quirk of golf? A quirk of baseball? A quirk of video game? Like, nah, we're just getting ridiculous at this point. I think this is just a joke. But anyway, Kohichi obviously switches into the crawler attire. He obviously wants to show off. And we see Pop Step once again jealous. Like, most of this episode is just Pop being jealous to hell on, Kohichi and Makoto. But I also want to bring up something that Knuckleduster mentioned, and it is how he doesn't like the idea. Like, he definitely, when they're training, he definitely tells Kohichi that his strategy is good. It's trying to keep him sort of in the fight. But when it comes down to helping Makoto with her project, he doesn't like it. It is most likely that getting too close with the personal life with the risk of their vigilante life being discovered is a problem, and would be a problem. Because, well, if he's discovered, like he said, if a third party discovers it, it's most likely then that the police and a bunch of villains would be after their asses in their own personal lives. Which, I mean, yeah, that's not surprising. Look at most Spider-Man films, considering he's technically a vigilante in terms of not being like a hero designated thing. Once they figure out his identity, what usually happens? Well, Mary Jane or Aunt May are usually the ones in danger, but that's a different point. The main point is that he definitely advises against it, but is willing to trust Kohichi in this case. So it shows a big level of trust from Knuckleduster to let Kohichi do his thing, despite the risks that come with it. Pop Step's obviously angry because she's just jealous. And yeah, by the end of it, like, Makoto's little ability is interesting. It definitely works for journalism or even for being a detective or police officing because, oh my god, being able to tell when someone's lying by a simple touch, it is insane. That means that most characters, that just makes me think of fucking Light Yagami. Dude would not be able to get out of him. Ask him if see Kira, he'll try to lie. Oh wait, Quirk can automatically tell when someone's lying. Well, you're fucked. I don't know, I've been watching Death Note a lot. Anyway, not the point. Getting sidetracked again. The whole thing is, there's a reason why he was able to tell the truth. And it's super funny. It's because she asked him point blank after like their whole thing was done. She asked him, "Are you the Crueler?" And he's like, "No." And obviously he's gonna say no, because that's not the name he assigns himself as. He assigns himself as the Crawler. And it is super funny, because he obviously goes on a rant at the end of the episode about it. He's super annoyed that people keep calling him the Crueler, and he's the Crawler. Like, oh my god, that is super funny. Now, obviously Pop Step's mad about, well, obviously, I mean, you know, people keep only associate her with her butt, but that's a different case. Now, Makoto. She definitely had an ulterior motive. I definitely suspected it halfway through. And it's the fact that this random chance encounter, and for her to pop that question, makes me think she definitely suspected Kohichi to be the Crawler, or at least one of the vigilantes. And obviously the Crawler appearing and him being there, it's obvious. But the fact that that completely fucked up because she messed up the name and gave the one that he doesn't associate with is the only reason Kohichi got saved. Not to mention, she definitely feels so off because, I mean, she got it wrong. Like, her suspicions on Kohichi were wrong. So she definitely felt out of whack by that. Almost like her instincts of being able to be right were into question. So, yeah, Kohichi really dodged a bullet there. Now, there's so much this episode brought. I almost feel like I need to make separate videos in regards to them. But as an episode overall, god damn it, it made me laugh so much. It had me on my seat in terms of enjoying the stuff that they were conversing. Especially the stuff related to hero, vigilante, villain, and all that. Like, there's so much interesting things. So I'll definitely give it a 10. Because there's a lot that they went over. And you still have your funny shenanigans. Which, I mean, I just enjoy that from Vigilantes. It has a mix of seriousness and fun.